Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, August 11. Jamaica is set to receive another shipment of coronavirus vaccine by the end of this week. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton gave the update at a press conference Monday. He says over 470,000 doses are expected this month, with another 420,000 doses slated for September. It's part of government's plan to secure 1.4 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines to inoculate 700,000 Jamaicans by the end of September.
I don't like to give timelines when it comes to a scarce commodity where we don't control all the variables. But based on the hard work of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the other members of the team, including the Prime Minister, it is becoming more of a predictable scenario that we will see another shipment this week. And that's good news.
In the meantime, the Ministry of Health has activated COVID-19 field hospitals at 3 locations. 40 beds have become available at Spanish Town Hospital, while 32 each have been prepared at Falmouth and St. Joseph hospitals. Minister Christopher Tufton says 2 other 30-bed field hospitals are to become available. When that's done, 716 COVID beds will be available, with further options to convert regular beds for COVID patients. Dr. Tufton's disclosure comes as the island's hospitals are facing a sharp increase in coronavirus-related hospitalizations. Up to August 8, bed occupancy at 6 hospitals were at 100% or greater. Based on these developments, the health minister is reiterating the call for persons to get vaccinated and observe the COVID infection prevention and control protocols.
I saw more numbers in the 50 and younger, 40 and younger, 30 and younger, who are not only hospitalized but who have passed as a result of COVID. It means none of us are safe. All of us must observe the protocols and take the vaccine when the vaccine is available.
National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang is asserting that government condemns all forms of ill treatment of its citizens and will take decisive action against anyone who infringes on their rights. The minister's stance follows the ongoing investigation into the alleged cutting of the locks of 19-year-old Nzinga King while being held at the Four Paths police station in Clarendon. Minister Chang says a comprehensive investigation into the incident is being undertaken. He is urging Jamaicans to reserve judgment and action until the probe has been finalized. Sport Minister Olivia Grange says government will be hosting a week-long celebration for athletes who participated in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Minister Grange made the announcement as some athletes returned home this week.
We are happy about those who medal, but it's not only about those who medal. It's about all of you who went there. You're all Olympians. And so we plan to celebrate all of you in October. You are our heroes. And Heroes Weekend, the week, Heritage Week, will be the time in which we are planning celebrations for you.
The team did fantastic. We got 9 medals and we finished 5th on the medals table for athletics. And this for us is a proud achievement. And we, as the association, will be meeting with the minister to ensure that we properly, show our appreciation to our athletes.
Minister Grange says government plans to increase its funding to athletes. During the Olympic period, $28 million was spent on 160 athletes, including Paralympians. This is in addition to the annual $64 million spent on almost 2,000 junior and senior athletes across all sporting disciplines. Minister Grange says mental health support has been added to the athlete insurance program, which also covers life, accident, injury, and maternity. Minister of Housing, Urban Renewal, Environment and Climate Change, Pernell Charles Jr., says Jamaica's invitation to this year's Conference of Parties, COP26, provides us with an important opportunity to advance climate change actions. He was speaking yesterday at a JIS think tank session. Minister Charles says the conference will provide one of the best global opportunities to control issues related to climate change, especially for smaller states such as Jamaica.
We are focusing our attention on using COP26 to define the technology that's needed, the financing that's needed, and the actions that are required for us to mitigate, for us to build up our capacity, and where we can, to make sure that we have consistency in messaging so that we change our behavior.
He says the ministry will be heightening its communication campaign to get more Jamaicans involved. COP26 is scheduled for November 1 to 12 in Glasgow, Scotland, under the presidency of the United Kingdom. It will incorporate the 26th conference of the parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, with a focus on keeping the 1.5-degree goal within reach. And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has paid tribute to late former Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Lester Bird's enduring work in the regional movement. Sir Lester passed away on August 9 at age 83. As the country's second Prime Minister, Bird served from 1994 to 2004. Mr. Holness remembered him as well loved by the people of his country and the region as he advocated for the recognition of small island states. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.